I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time. I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical. We had the doctors at the White House and over at Walter Reed, which is a fantastic hospital, do it. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive tests. I'm proud to announce I aced it. Got them all. I got them all right. You proud of me? Yes. Your husband would be proud of me for getting them all right. It's a little risk. If I didn't get them all right, these people would be after me. It would be not a good situation. But I think, frankly, anybody running for president should take a cognitive test. They say it's unconstitutional, but I would say in that particular case, having a cognitive test wouldn't be so bad. But when you take tests, medical, as a male, that test is very standard. I don't know if it's given to everybody, but it's given just about. And it takes a long time to get to that situation now. Now, I think, to get to a stage 9, I think that if you take a look, it's the same doctor that said that Joe was cognitively fine. There was nothing wrong with him. Well, he said, if it's the same doctor, he said there was nothing wrong there, and that's being proven to be a sad situation. And the autopen is becoming a very big deal. The autopen is becoming a big deal because it seems like that maybe was the president who ever operated the autopen. But when they say that was not good, they also, you have to look and you have to say then the test was not so good either. In other words, there are things going on that the public wasn't informed, and I think somebody's going to have to speak to his doctor, if it's the same, or even if it's two separate doctors. Why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think the doctor said he's just fine, and it's turned out that's not so. It's very dangerous. Look, this is no longer politically correct. This is dangerous for our country. Look at the mess we're in. You're talking about all these questions on Ukraine and Russia that would have never happened. As an example, if I were president, it would have never happened. The other thing is you have to say, why did it take so long? I mean, this takes a long time. It can take years to get to this level of danger. So it's a very, very sad situation, and I feel very badly about it. And I think people should try and find out what happened, because I'll tell you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the hospital. Walter Reed is really good. They're some of the best doctors I've ever seen. I don't even know if they were involved, but a doctor was involved in each case. Maybe it was the same doctor, and somebody is not telling the facts. That's a big problem.
Now let's talk about Joe Biden and the sad news that he's battling advanced cancer. Josh, I want to play you this clip from 2 years ago when on stage Biden said he had cancer. He even explained why he thought he had cancer. But then we were told, oh, no, this was just a gaffe.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer, and why for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
That doesn't sound like a gaffe or a stutter, Josh.
No, and look, the crazy thing, Rita, there's a new book out this week, this book called Original Sin, right, by Jake Tapper of CNN and Alex Thompson of Axios. It's making all the headlines there. It's generating all the attention here in the United States this week is focused on this one book by Tapper and Thompson. And of course, they're making themselves out to be the innocent victims in the Fourth Estate there in the media, as if they were duped by the Biden White House there. They obviously were completely in on the game from the get-go there. But the crazy thing is that the same people, Rita, that just pulled a Soviet-level information operation to gaslight the American people for the past 5 years about Joe Biden's mental and physical decline, both people inside the administration and their mouthpiece media propagandists on the outside, the Pravda, like Jake Tapper before he conveniently flipped 180 degrees there. The same people who gaslit us for the past 4 years are now going to say that those of us who have the chutzpah, who have the gall to ask whether or not there was a similar cover-up about Joe Biden's medical condition, i.e. his cancer diagnosis there, they're about to say that we're horrible people all over again. Oh, don't worry us, oh yeah, maybe we kind of buried a few stories there about the president's kind of his cognitive decline there, but don't you dare ask about whether or not we actually hid his cancer diagnosis there. But look, that clip kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it there? That's not a gaffe, Rita. That is a man just saying the truth out in the open there. Funny, I find it awfully convenient that this news about this prostate cancer is coming out right now, as I said, the very week of this Original Sin book by Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson. I'm not buying it. Something here is up.
And it's coming a week or so after that appearance on The View, where Jill Biden had an extended interview. Again, it was disastrous. It didn't go as they planned. It just reinforced what we all thought about his cognitive decline. And this seems to be the counter to it. It's terribly sad, but this is the level of mistrust that's in that administration now and in the mainstream media, that the questions being asked about when they learnt about this diagnosis. Now,